I left you last time on the step that's easiest to skip, signing a contract with the client. Let's give it the attention it deserves because it's quietly one of the most important things you'll do on any project. Here's the trap. A new job comes in, everyone's excited, work starts, and the contract slides to we'll sort that out later. Later is exactly that wrong time. The best moment to iron out every awkward question is right at the start, before anyone's invested, while goodwill is still high and nothing has gone wrong yet. Once there's a disagreement, it's far too late to be deciding who was supposed to do what. So, what does a good contract pin down? Three things, really: the scope of the work you're going to do, the scope of what the client has to provide, those surveys and reports we talked about, for instance, and just as important, the things you're not going to do. That last one saves you more grief than almost anything, because most disputes aren't about bad work, they're about someone assuming a task belonged to the other person. The standard tool for this is RAIC Document 6, a contract for architectural services used right across the country. Some provincial associations have their own variations on the same idea, but the principle holds. It's a template, which means you review it, you adjust it to fit your actual project, and you sign it with the client. We'll spend the next couple of episodes inside that document, so I won't open it up now. For today, just hold on to the headline. Most of the problems that can theoretically come out of offering design services can be avoided with a carefully written contract. And even when it isn't carefully written, any contract is better than no contract at all. Now, while we're talking about what you're agreeing to do, let me lay out the full arc of architectural practice, because the contract is where you decide which parts of this arc are yours. If you follow the CHOP, the Canadian Handbook of Practice, they're listed in a clear sequence, and it's the same sequence the exam follows. It begins with programming, the content of the building, then site and environmental analysis, understanding the place you're building, then budgeting or cost control, keeping the money honest. From there, you move through the design phases properly. Schematic design, where the big ideas take shape. Design development, where it gets refined. Construction documents, the detailed drawings and specifications that get the thing built. Running alongside the design work is a coordination of engineering systems, which not every architect loves, but every architect has to do. If the project carries on into construction, you've got bidding and negotiation, helping get the job priced and awarded. Then, contract administration during construction itself, which tends to land on the bigger commercial jobs more than the small residential ones. And finally, at the tail end, closeout and warranty services once the building is done. That whole list is what we'd call the usual services, the customary work of an architect. And here's the thing to hold on to. You don't have to do every one of them. You can contract out of parts of it, but you absolutely have to know in writing what your contract covers and what you're on the hook to deliver. The danger isn't choosing to skip a phase. The danger is being fuzzy about it, whether it was yours in the first place. So what's the spine of a project? Sign before you start, be precise about who does what and what you won't touch, and use the contract to nail down which slices of the service arc belong to you. There's a reason I keep coming back to precise language, and it deserves its own episode. Next time, we get into definitions and why the exact meaning of a handful of words can quietly decide whether a project goes smoothly or ends up in an argument.